Welcome, everyone, to another episode of the Locked In Sports Podcast. Jordan, I believe this is episode six.
Yep,
Episode six. So, getting on up there in the numbers a little bit. Jordan, how you doing?
I'm good. How about you?
I'm doing good. Doing good. We're going to jump into our first recap. Johnson with a score of 0 and Lumpkin with a score of 49. Uh, ain't really much to say about this game other than Lumpkin dominated all 4 quarters of the game.
Yeah.
Uh, I predicted Johnson to score a touchdown, and that obviously did not happen. So that's disappointing for me. Um, hope Lumpkin got some young guys in the second half and rested up. Hope their starters are rested up for a big week this week with North Hall coming into town. They're 5-2 overall and 3-1 in the region, and currently sitting in second place in the region. So this game Friday could possibly be the region championship on the line, and for them. Jordan, you got anything else to say about Lumpkin?
Yeah, that's a big game this weekend. Is it at North Hall? Do you know?
Let me double check.
Well, we'll get into it tomorrow. It's okay.
We'll get
Talk
into
about
that tomorrow. 2 seconds, I can have it pulled up. This game is at North Hall, so that's a
it.
Debbie
Okay.
Downer for the
Yeah.
Indians. But the Brickyard's hard to play at. But we'll get into that tomorrow, like you said.
Yeah.
The next game we're going to cover is Dawson County 20 and White County 25. This is a crazy final score. Jordan, neither of us expected this to happen, but you did mention that if Dawson County had some mistakes here and there, that White County would be in the game at the end of the game and have a chance to win.
Yeah.
I think you did a good prediction there.
Yeah. Oh, especially with Dawson going on the road to White County. It's a little mistakes can get that crowd involved, and it looks like it did. So,
I agree. I wouldn't say that White County completely shut down the Tigers' run game because they rushed for close to 200 yards, but they did just enough to win the football game.
yeah.
Dawson really don't have much of a pass game. They have somewhat of a pass game, but if you shut down the run game, you got a good chance at winning the football game. And I kind of feel like Dawson just kind of got their feet stuck in the mud, and they can't get over that hump. I kind of feel like Dawson just kind of got their feet stuck in the mud and can't get over that hump. They can't seem to catch a break in any football game. So they compete in every game they play, but their record is 2-5 overall, which is kind of a bad looking record. But I mean, they're in every game they play, and 1-3 in the region. And that losing that game Friday night just kind of knocked them out of the playoff race. And now they're going to be kind of looking forward to next season, getting some young guys in, getting them good snaps. Wish the best luck to the seniors, and hopefully next year will go a little bit better.
Yeah.
Next matchup is Chestatee with a score of 28, Pickens 45. Jordan, once again, you killed it with your prediction. You predicted this game to be 42-28, I think,
Yeah.
Pickens.
Mhm.
And so you had 3 points off your prediction. That's pretty crazy. Chestatee dominated the first half of this football game. They jumped out to an early lead 7-0 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
And game was tied going into halftime, and sitting in that locker room, if you're Pickens County at halftime, you're thinking, man, our season is on the line right here. I mean, we got every chance to make the state playoffs, every chance to have a good run in the state playoffs. And if we drop this game, it could really play a role in the
Yeah.
state playoff impact. But Dragons came out the second half with a good mindset, went up by 2 touchdowns in the third quarter. And I think the Chestatee defense kind of ran out of gas there towards the end and couldn't tackle Pickens County. So Pickens moves to 6-1 overall and 3-1 in the region. And they sit in third place in the region standing. So still got a very good chance of making it to the state playoffs.
Yeah.
Jordan, you got anything for the Dragons?
Yeah. Good win. They handled business, like they should have. They're going to be paying attention to that North Hall Lumpkin game this week. I'll tell you that.
For
That's a big
sure.
one.
Our next game was our game of the week. Lafayette. I don't have the final score in here. I think the final score was 40, 41, 20 something maybe.
I think it was 41-28 or
Anyways,
something like that. I think it was 41-26.
yeah. Um, Very good game, kind of similar to the Pickens game.
Yeah.
Close for the first half. Um, this is a huge game for Gilmer County, and they definitely did their job. They controlled the time of possession outstanding, which if you do that in your Gilmer County, you got a very good shot at winning the football game every week.
Yeah.
They got that triple option offense rolling, and I think Lafayette defense. I think they got tired of hitting the big backs that Gilmer County's got in the backfield, and Gilmer County ain't going to shy away from contact. If you're in front of them, they're going to try to run you over.
Yeah.
This makes the Bobcats move to 4-3 overall and 1-2 in the region, and they're sitting in that fifth place spot. So they're on the outside looking in for the playoff hopes, but they're going to need somebody else to lose above them, which I think very well could happen with Adairsville being
Yeah.
above them. So I don't think Adairsville is that good of a football team, but they've played some easy games early and they got their hard games late. But Gilmore will go to Calhoun.
That's going to be I
Yeah,
don't want to say blowout, but it could easily be a blowout.
I'll say it. It'll be a blowout.
Yeah.
Gilmer County don't stand no chance against Calhoun. I hate to tell you, but yeah, best of luck to the Bobcats this Friday. We'll talk more about that matchup tomorrow. But
Yeah. If they lose tomorrow or if they lose Friday this week, they're going to have to run the table. And
yeah.
it'll be hard. Tough sledding.
So I think that'll do it for high school. Lumpkin takes care of business. Dawson County loses to White County on the road. Pickens wins at home, and Gilmer County, our game of the week, picks up a big region win at home on homecoming. Their jerseys looked outstanding. Jordan, let's jump into some college.
Yep. Let's get into our college games that we talked about. First game we're going to cover is Washington State 21, Ole Miss 24.
Close.
We did not see that coming, Landon.
No, we didn't at all.
We thought Ole Miss was going to handle business. We both thought it was going to be a blowout, but Washington State had the lead for the majority of this game. Ole Miss didn't score till late with about 6 minutes left, and that's not what you wanted to see if you're an Ole Miss fan, especially you got Georgia this weekend, which we'll cover tomorrow. But a win's a win this late into the season, I guess, but wasn't pretty. It was not pretty.
No, if they go to Athens and play like that this Saturday, we could be in for a blowout.
Yeah, easily, very easily, we could be.
Yeah.
Next game is Florida 17 at Texas A&M 34. Texas A&M, they're continuing to dominate. They looked good. I thought it was close early. Florida was hanging in there, but Texas A&M just had too much firepower on offense, and their defense in the second half made adjustments and shut DJ Lagway down and Billy Napier. That offense, they couldn't get anything going. How many more losses does it take before Napier's fired?
There's a lot of changes going around college football right now.
There is, and we'll get to that after all the scores. I was going to talk to you about that.
Yeah.
But Texas A&M handled business.
They did.
I think we both picked A&M to win, I believe.
I think I picked Florida.
Did you pick Florida?
I picked Florida.
I picked A&M, but I thought it could have gone either way as well. But
yeah.
The next game we got is the Red River rivalry. That's hard to say. Back to back to back. Red River rivalry.
Red River rivalry.
Oklahoma, number 6 in the nation, 6 to Texas's 23. I know Oklahoma had a quarterback back from injury, and that offense couldn't get anything going. That Texas defense shut them down.
You think Arch Manning is back?
I don't know if it's as much as that, as maybe Oklahoma's not as good as we thought.
I agree.
Or it may be both, honestly, because Arch looked pretty good. He looked a lot more comfortable than he has. So big win for Texas. Big win for Texas. They're ranked again. They're back ranked. So they still have their hopes are still alive.
You think their hopes are still alive for the CFB?
Yeah, I think so. They only have 2 losses, and that Florida loss hurt, but that's only one SEC loss.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're going to have an SEC an SEC championship game with an undefeated SEC team.
Oh, for sure.
Each team's going to have 1 loss. So as long as they run the table, they may be okay.
Yep.
So we'll see. Next game we had was Alabama going on the road to Missouri, beating them 27-24. It didn't start out good. Missouri scored on their first possession. Looked like it was going to be a shootout, but Alabama kind of controlled the time of possession. And it was 27-24, but Missouri scored in the last minute, trying. They were just heaving the ball down the field. Um, Another ranked road win for Bama. That's two road wins in a row. Um, or that's two in the last 3 weeks. They beat
Right.
Vanderbilt, but that's three ranked wins in 3 weeks. So
One
um,
thing I'll say about watching that game, I never felt like Alabama was going to lose.
no, and I felt too that there was a bunch of times that they could have capitalized and they didn't.
Right.
I feel like it could have been more than a 3 point game, like easily.
Other
Uh,
than early, Missouri had some momentum early, but other than that, the
yeah,
momentum was all in Alabama's favor.
yeah, no, that I was worried about Missouri's running back Ahmad Hardy. He led the nation in
Yeah,
rush yard at offense, and Alabama held him to 52 yards, so they did a good job stopping the run.
great
Um,
job.
Good game. Alabama's got another test this weekend, Tennessee, but it's at home, so that's huge for Alabama. Missouri goes on the road. Their first road game of the year is at Auburn next year or next week. So
If the referees ain't there, Auburn will win.
that's true. That is very true. We'll get to that one in just a minute.
Yep,
I'm going to talk to you about that. Um, Next game we have is South Carolina LSU. We won't really get into that much. LSU handled business 20-10.
I agree.
Still kind of a bad game. LSU scored 20 points. I don't know if they've scored above 30 points this year, Landon.
They don't look like a powerhouse.
No, and Vanderbilt even scored 30 on South Carolina.
Yeah.
I mean, so I'm not impressed with either one of those teams. And LSU's ranked 10th.
Yep.
So I
I
don't think
I
that
don't
good.
think they're a top 10 team in the nation.
Their defense is good. Their defense is pretty good, but their offense is not good.
I agree.
Next game we had was actually a lot closer than I thought it was going to be. Arkansas on the road at Tennessee. Tennessee only won 34-31. 3 point win for the Vols at home against Arkansas. With Arkansas had a whole new coaching staff because they fired everybody the week
Yep.
before. Um,
Tennessee got lucky to pull off a win there too.
they did. They did. It was not pretty and not what you want to see before you go on the road to Alabama. I'm not saying this is because I'm an Alabama fan, but who else has beat three straight ranked teams?
Yep. And
Uh,
one thing I will say about that Tennessee team, I'll say it again actually. How much longer are they going to rely on their offense to shoot out everybody they play? I mean, you're not gonna make the college football playoff doing that. They got to make a
yeah.
change to the defensive side of the ball.
Uh-huh. And I don't know. They've played some good defenses, but like the Georgia defense this year is not the same as it has been.
Right.
And I don't know. This is probably the hardest defense they've played against this year, or this coming up Saturday against Alabama. So we'll see how Tennessee does against that. If their offense can't get anything going and they can't get their defense off the field, is that a blowout or is it a super high scoring game again or what? So
Right.
we'll see. We'll talk about that tomorrow.
Hmm.
That brings us to our game of the week and a very controversial game. Number 10, Georgia beating Auburn on the road 20-10.
Yeah, we
Uh,
got a lot to talk about during this game.
yeah, this game was crazy. Started out, Auburn had all the momentum. I mean, looked like it could have been one of those trap games for Georgia
Yep.
where they couldn't get anything going. Auburn, everything was going right for them. And then it all flipped on its head in under the 2 minute warning before halftime.
Hmm.
Um, Jackson Arnold, the quarterback for Auburn, tried to sneak it over, and there's a debate on whether he crossed or touched the goal line. You don't have to cross it; you just have to touch the goal line.
The
With
nose of the football just has to
yes, it
touch.
just has to touch the line. It doesn't have to cross it; it just has to touch it
Yep. And be possessed. That's it.
and be possessed. Yes, and then the fumble, was he losing it before he touched the goal line? And then they blew it dead as well after the fumble when Georgia was running it back.
Well, here's the thing about officiating that play. They did an awful job both ways, Georgia and Auburn.
Yeah,
Pathetic. Number one, I think it was a touchdown personally. But
I agree.
if you don't call it a touchdown, it's got to be a touchdown for Georgia. They took the ball to the other end zone. But
Yeah.
listen, from an official standpoint, if no official goes with him to the other end of the field, they don't
Mhm.
know if he might have stepped. He didn't step out of bounds, but they don't know if he might have stepped out of bounds. They don't have
Yeah.
any angles on that, so they can't reward Georgia with a touchdown because no official went and marked that he officially scored a touchdown.
Yeah.
So it's basically like they go back to the point of interruption, basically. So that's why they gave Georgia the ball on the one. But that's pathetic.
See, my thing with those type of plays, and I think even with the plays where the quarterback is throwing the ball and gets hit on the arm and
Yeah.
it looks like a fumble, you let those plays play out.
Hmm.
And then, the booth will probably initiate a review.
Right.
Because under 2 minutes, the coaches can't challenge it. Everything comes from the booth
Hmm.
if they can review it. And they reviewed it,
Yeah.
obviously. But you let it play out, and because they let it play out, then it's 10-7. Georgia's getting the ball back at halftime as well, after halftime.
It's 10-7 or 17-0. Imagine if it's 17-0 at halftime of that game.
17-0, and Auburn keeps the momentum.
And
Because
they coach a lot different in the second half.
yeah, every play call is different.
Yep.
I mean, that completely changes the game.
I agree.
But after that, there was a minute 39 when that happened before halftime, and no teams had timeouts. You know how long it took to finish that half?
Probably 20 minutes.
39 minutes
Holy
to finish
crap.
that half between reviews and the 2-minute timeout and just stepping out of bounds,
Yeah.
it took 39 minutes.
Well, let's talk about after the fact. After they gave Georgia the football, like 2 plays later, Gunner gets hit.
Yeah.
Obvious roughing the passer. But
Yeah.
those referees, their buttholes are about that big around, and they don't want to throw no flag because they're scared.
Yeah.
Okay, that is wrong. Those referees need to be punished.
It was the worst officiated game I think I've ever seen both ways.
Yeah, it was pathetic.
After halftime, Georgia, I think they kicked a field goal before half. I think it was 10.
10-3.
And then they scored to tie it up, and then they ended up winning 20-10. But after that, all the momentum was with Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
In the second half, I think Auburn had like 15 or 20 yards.
Right.
They could get nothing going.
Mm-hmm.
Georgia just dominated the second half. And yeah, you can blame the game on the officials. But if you only have 15 yards in the second half, that's not the officials' fault.
Right.
But
the one thing I will say is timeout.
That's what I was about to say, Landon.
Timeout.
Did you see that? He was going like this, and then he went to the ref like he was this.
Right.
He was clapping. He said, no, I was clapping. I had seen a video that said he was calling a timeout, but trying to tell the ref that the safety for Auburn was clapping.
Yeah.
Which you're not allowed to do. Because what is that penalty? What is that called?
I don't really know.
I know it's a penalty.
It is a flag, yeah.
You're not allowed to clap for some reason.
It's like you're trying to like mimic the offense basically. It can get the offense to jump off sides. That's what it is.
That's like quarterbacks clap their hands like when they're ready to get the snap. They clap. So
yeah.
I think they say doing that is like trying to get the center to snap the ball early. It's almost like a false start, but on the defense, basically trying to get them to false start. That was very controversial because that saved Georgia a timeout.
Yeah. About that, I watched a bunch of videos on it, and it's the free safety who's clapping. Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Who cares if the free safety's clapping?
Yeah.
Unless it's coming from a linebacker, like a defensive lineman. Yeah. I don't think Kirby has never been the type of guy to try to cheat to win. First of all, he's a great, super Christian dude. But I mean, come on, man. You're running down the field doing this, and even if you read his lips, like he's not saying timeout, he's obviously saying clapping.
Yeah.
But as an official, if you ever see a coach running at you with doing this and you can't hear nothing because it's loud, like, yeah, you got to
give him a timeout because he's doing this. That's a timeout. That's not clap. That's a timeout.
And then once you blow your whistle, you got to do one of two things. It's either a timeout or delay a game. You choose, Kirby.
Yeah.
And they just gave him the ball and said, here's a free play.
No delay of game, and they saved their timeout.
25-second play clock restart. Let's get a good play call in from Mike Bobo. I mean, come on now. That's pathetic.
Yeah. It was probably the worst officiated game I'd ever seen.
Yeah, I agree.
So that's about all the SEC. Indiana got a big win at Oregon.
Huge win.
Penn State fired James Franklin.
They did.
They pulled the trigger,
And
which wasn't shocking because they lost to Northwestern.
uh,
But the coaching carousel has begun.
I've been hearing some rumors.
What
This
is it?
comes from Kentucky, so it might not be true. But I've been hearing some rumors that Kentucky has reached out to James Franklin and Mark Stoops has been in touch with Virginia Tech.
That would make more sense. Yeah.
So I've seen some pull there. I don't know if we want James Franklin though.
Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know either. But
That Stoops to Virginia Tech, a school like that would make more sense than a big school. I don't think he's
yeah,
going to be hired at a
yeah,
big school.
it fit in perfect. Get the out of Kentucky. I mean, we don't
Yeah.
want
And then Franklin, I mean, he's getting paid $56 million.
to lose.
Yeah. So I don't think he's gonna. I mean, unless he gets off, he may take another coaching job, but I don't think he will.
Right.
So, but no, that's about all the college football recap we got. We'll get into a lot more tomorrow. So,
Yeah, we got another exciting week this week, don't we, Jordan?
yeah, we do.
You got anything else?
I think that's about it for tonight.
Well, we'll see y'all again tomorrow morning.
Yep.
Thanks for tuning in. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X. What do we do, Jordan?
Stay locked.
Stay locked, youngins, grandmas, grandpas. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you on the next one.